Hello, welcome pen friends. I am super excited about the video I'm about to do for you, and one of the reasons is because it's been a requested video for quite a while now, and I just hadn't gotten myself organized enough to do it. In fact, I had no idea that it had been 4 years since the last time that I did like a video inventory of my pens. In fact, it was 4 years ago and it was in 4 parts, but this time I'm going to put it all in one part, and I'm going to show you inside of all of my pen cases and my pen boxes, with the exception of 2. There's 2 cigar boxes that I'm just going to leave in quarantine, and those pens are, you know, I'm not writing with them. I'm kind of like on the edge of passing them along or trying to revisit them to fix them. And there's quite a few in there, but I do have the numbers, like of how many are in each of those cigar boxes. But you'll see everything else. I've got 10 zippered pen cases, and we'll stop in and look at where they are right before I start the video. And then I've got a cigar box that's outfitted with like a 16 pen tray for my little pocket pens. And then I have 3 of the Opus 88 pen boxes. You know, you can tear all the guts out and you can use them like the old-fashioned pencil boxes we used to use in school. They have a magnetic cover. So 3 of those I'm utilizing. So then if you stick around till close to the end, or if you just count along as we go, you can do that too. Then I will give you the absolute number of every single pen that I counted up, which we all know how that is. It's not going to be 100% accurate, because I keep thinking, oh, there's that pen in my purse, and I've already dragged 3 more out, and you know, I keep remembering pens, but for the most part, mine are pretty close to me. So I think this is going to be accurate, plus or minus, you know, 1 or 2%. I really don't think it's going to be that far off. So 4 years ago, how many pens did I have? I was saying approximately 100. Okay, but then those of you who follow me, you probably remember that last year there was the 8 pen question tag, which has also been they revisited a year later this year, which I didn't participate in that because there weren't very many significant changes between last year and this year, but you're going to see those here because there were 2 pens that I was like, oh, I never even talked about these, never even discussed them, but I didn't have significant changes in my answers. Well, during that 8 pen question tag last year, 2023, I had about 200. Plus or minus a few, because again, it's hard to corral them all. And you know, when you got them everywhere, like I've got these little drawers with pens that need replacement barrels and things like that. You know, well, I've got 2 Twisbys like that. And I have other pens where they're not in the pen cases. So, but I really think because I spent all day yesterday and I had so much fun with this, I think you're going to actually see a very, very good reflection of, you know, what my most prominent pens are. And, you know, for them to earn a spot in one of the 10 pen cases, which I'll just tell you right up front, the 10 pen cases they're all kind of different. There's a couple duplicates where I've got 2 of the same kind of pen case, but my total capacity in those is 184. So that was interesting to me too. But that, my friends, is not the final number, which is fine, because I've come to this really better place just recently, and each day I think it grows stronger, where I feel good about my collection. I also have some plans. Like I don't feel that it is ever going to land in one place and stay there. I think it's always going to be that pens will come and go. I don't sell pens. I'm very, very uncomfortable with that. And you know, I really admire people who are comfortable doing it, because there are a few that maybe if I was comfortable with it I would sell, but I actually feel like I'm running on such a low budget that if something were to go wrong, I wouldn't like that you know, responsibility, or I don't know how you would say. I've thought about it every which way and tried to convince myself. I'd rather gift pens or give away pens, you know, things like that. And I have given several to our local charity shop that I didn't think were great, but they would write for someone and that they could get for such a cheap price that they could find out for themselves if they liked them. So anyway, the other thing, just one more thing I want to say before we just dive right in and start, and that is that I have had, and of course I watch a lot of different people off and on, and I come across new channels almost every day. I try not to flood myself with content, but I have just recently come to this inner feeling that, and knowing for absolute sure that no one can make me feel any way about my collection or my habits or my anything to do with it except for me. It's all up to me how I'm gonna, you know, think about my pens and whether I'm happy or not. And it's also up to me to change it if I don't like it, or to celebrate it. And there's so much more to celebrate in with my pen hobby than there is to you know, to want to change or whatever. So I'm happy about that, because that's going to shine more light on the hobby for me, I think, because I've been down a few dark alleys where I started that comparison thing. And so if you're watching this video and you have one fountain pen, or if you have 1,000 or anything in between, just know that it's your collection and it's your feelings. No one can make you feel any certain way about it except for you. You can have a reaction to something that you hear, or, you know, you could, and we have reactions. But remember that after you have that, either whatever it is, it might be jealousy, it might be shame, it might be anything. But then you get to have a response where you breathe. You remember what your own values are and what your purposes are. And you also think about your plans, like, okay, I know I have, you know, X number of pens in boxes and I don't really want them in the boxes. I want to make decisions. Do I have time? How much time do I have? So anyway, if that helps you, I hope so, because it sure does help me to think that way. And that's the way I'm choosing to feel. And in fact, yesterday it was so cool because I even broke through a couple of other barriers. I had one case that needed to be thrown away because it actually had busted its guts. You know, it just, and I had been thinking, oh, I paid this X number of dollars for it. And anyway, I promised that was it, that we were going to head over there. So I'll save some of these other ramblings for next time. But if there's time left, I'll come back over and we'll talk after. But there may not be, because I'd kind of like to put an hour cap on this, and I'm not so sure. I do not want 4 parts, so if I have to shoot it again, I'll do what I can to avoid that and put it all in one video for you. So I will see you over near my pen desk. Okay, so this is the area right below where I have my journals. My journals are up above, and this is my computer desk, but I'll just like flash it because it's a mess. It's a mess. But this is where I keep all 10 of my pen cases with most of my fountain pens. It's not where I keep the boxes. Those are, I'm going to see if it still works over by the tower to my old computer. And then underneath is just my printer. So, dust and all. But anyway, this is where they are. And if you see those tags, this is not a sale. It's just labels, because I kind of move things around. It's like if this is my pen garage and I moved everything around to suit me. I worked on it almost all day yesterday, or played on it all day yesterday. And so I've labeled it for my brain, because if you can see, I've got 3 sets of pen cases that are the same. You know, that are the same as each other, and that could really be a mind boggle. So, okay, I'm going to pull off the first pen case and we'll get started. Okay, just before I start, I just want to say a big umbrella thank you for everybody who has sent me pens over the years. I really, really appreciate each and every one. And it's caused me to have probably, 50% of what I have has been donated to this channel and to me. So I'm going to try to make a nice little group, you know, thank you with initials and so forth. But it's kind of hard because I don't want to forget anybody, and it's been over the past 7 years and plus. So I may rethink that, because I don't want to cause anybody to be left out whatsoever. You know who you are, and in most cases so do I. But this case is actually a Kaco, K-E-C-O case that holds 20 pens, and it's from Amazon. And I find it perfect for, this one holds all my Lamis, which are 20. And so I've got, let's see, I also have my inventory next to me because really, honestly, sometimes I forget color names. But this is a Lami Vista, the new one that I got. And shows I have a broad nib on that one. This is the old Lami with the letters coming off, Lami Vista. Well, I have a fine nib on it. I kind of like that. I inventoried right in the middle of my ink journal so that I can turn there and see, you know, at least right now what nibs I have, because I do play musical nibs. And then this one is Lami Safari charcoal with an extra fine nib. This is the Terra, so all the rest are Lami Safaris here on this side. Terra red, and then this one is Candy Violet. I guess it doesn't really matter what nib. These are all mixed. There's stubs, broads, mostly, you know, quite a few broads, medium, a couple fines. My favorites are broad and fine, but I also like the stubs, both sizes, 1.5 and 1.1. I think they have wider too. So like I said, Candy Violet, and then white and red on this one. This is pink dark lilac. This is one of my first pens that I bought. I paid quite a bit of money for it. Actually, I got it from Gold Spot, but on eBay, and it was after it had been released a while. I don't know, maybe it was $50, or maybe that was the total with shipping. Who knows? I was so new then that I don't know. And then this one is the strawberry. Oh, I like that so much. And then this is the light rose, real pretty. Actually, I have a 1.5 on that one. So now we're going to go over to the other side. So I have to, whoops, move things without throwing them on the floor. And over here we have the AllStars, and then the other two that are not AllStars in my Lami collection. But they are stars. So, okay, so where'd we leave off? We are now on this pen, which is the Lami AllStar Graphite. This is the lilac, and here is the white silver, and next is purple. I think that might be a standard one, and then some of these are limited or limited edition, I guess. Vibrant pink, then tourmaline, bronze, ocean blue, and then this is the Lami Nex, which is different. It doesn't have quite as much of a controlled grip. It has a rubbery grip. It's really, really comfortable for those days when maybe your hand's not feeling good. It's an oddball looking, but it's a really nice pen. And then, of course, my Lami 2000 with a broad nib. Now, before we leave this pen case, and I'm going to do that with each one, I'm going to tell you how many of these 20, you know, were gifted to me. And that is 8 of these. So 8 out of the 20 were gifted to me. I just think that that's important, you know. It's important to acknowledge all the contributions, for one thing. Okay, so then my next pen case is a little smaller, of that same kind. It's a Kaco, and it holds 10. And so in here, I've got some really special pens. They're all special, but, you know, yeah, this is quite a collection here. So I've got the Opus 88s, and then on the other side I've got my Banu pens. I have 5 of each, but then I have a couple more strays in the Opus 88 that are categorized somewhere else, because one, I really liked having these particular ones in one case. So this one is the one I got from Stylo and Styles in Italy. It's a demonstrator, and all of these have broad nib. I know some people like variety, but I guess I just, for these pens that hold so much ink, I gotta have broad nibs. So, and then this one is the Opus 88 Omar in clear with a broad nib. And this is the Omar with, it's yellow, I think it's yellow is the color name, but it also has a kind of a light green body, so it's kind of interesting. And then this one is the Coloro, which is a red, Opus 88 Coloro, red on red, and it has that kind of ebonite material. Oh, it's just really something. I love this. And yet I'm satisfied with that one because I kind of like the large nibs, and this has a number 5 nib, but it's good. It still writes really, really good. And then you can change the nib units real easily too. And that's probably why Lami went first, because Lami's got a special place in my heart because of the easy nib swaps and all the different colors and everything. But here's the Opus 88 Omar in purple. And yeah, I don't know why I wanted to pull that out. So it's got like the lavender and the purple. It's just a gorgeous looking pen, really. You've seen it if you've been around my channel. And then over here, I've got 5. This is the extent. Yeah, this is everything I have in Banu. But this is where one of the pens, I realized I never even talked about this one. I haven't inked this one up yet. This is like confessions as well as inventory, I guess. But over here, we've got the Banu. Okay, I mix up when I start talking about that one. So let me see. It's Briolette Luminous Amber with a fine nib. And it's gorgeous. Oh man, it's gorgeous. And then this is the Banu Talisman Sakura Cherry Blossoms. It's the 2023 Gold Spot exclusive. And it's got a broad nib on it. And I think what happened with this pen, to be honest, is that I bought it with either channel funds or a mixture of my funds, and then I thought, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I said I was going to be happy with the one. I think I'll sell it. But then I said, no, Chris, I don't think so, because you haven't even inked it. You haven't used it. And besides, then everything started happening. You know, we put the roof, we did all that stuff. And I thought, no, it's a good pen. It's a beautiful pen. You wanted it badly. So you're going to ink it. You're going to keep it. And then you could sell it later if you really don't want it. But anyway, but this is all of my Banus right now. So then this is the Banu Scepter 1. And it's got a broad nib on it. It came, I think, with a fine, and I switched it for a broad nib. It's a number 5 nib. And then this was my very first, the one that I purchased, and it's the Banu Talisman Mandrake, and I love it because it kind of like goes with a lot of the colors that I ink up, and it has a broad nib. These are very satisfying. I always have to have one inked up, and right now I've got 2. These 2 are inked, even though they're in the pen case. I went and tallied up everybody, brought them all home to the case, to the garages. But then this one is the Banu Euphoria. Oh, let's see if I wrote it. Yeah, Guava. Did I do that right? Pink Guava with a broad nib, and it is inked up. And out of this pen case, 4 of these were gifted to me. This one here, the Coloro, and then this one, and this one. So the Briolette, am I saying that right? And then the Scepter and the Euphoria. So I purchased these 2, and I purchased these 4. So, but these are really special pens in my collection for me, because like the beauty of them just is extra when you're writing and stuff. So next is a sub collection I'm real excited about. It's all my TWSBI Ecos. It's only my TWSBI Ecos in here, and it is a 20 pen case Crazy Horse Galen leather. Which I really like this case because, well, I'll show you. It opens up, it lies flat. I just kind of require that. It's there. I have a few cases where it just doesn't want to open up and lay flat, and I don't like that. But anyway, let's see if we can go kind of power through these, because there's 24 of them. So we have they're all Ecos, or there are a couple Eco Tees. Let's see, I can tell from the side. None on that side. There's 2 Eco Tees in here. This one and this one, but I'll try to distinguish that. So, in the regular Eco is the yellow, the cerulean blue, the black, standard line, and then there's the blue transparent, the orange transparent, the green transparent, the red transparent, the rose gold and white. Let's see, I was going to do nibs too, but we're doing broad, because I switched that one. Medium, and then medium on the cement gray. And then this is the rose gold and black. And that's a medium too. So then over here, I think if I've looked this up right, it's TWSBI Eco T yellow green with a stub. So these 4 are stub nibs. And this one is the yellow transparent, the purple transparent with a stub again. And then the somehow or another I purchased 2 of those. I purchased the white and rose gold in, you know, twice, once with a stub. I think I did that because I realized how many colors I could just use any color in them. And then this one is the jade with a broad nib. This is another TWSBI Eco Tea, which I don't have anything against the Eco Tea, but it just seems like I always end up selecting the colors that are the Eco, or I have it to this point. So this is the Rosso and the Eco Tea, and then the purple. Let's see, this one actually has a cracked section, but I grabbed it out of its little drawer of shame because I haven't put the part. I got the part from TWSBI, paid the shipping and got it, but I haven't done it yet. So that's another confession. But it's the purple with the medium nib, and I really want to get that back going because that's one of my favorite colors. And then this one is the lilac, I think. Let's see, I lost my place. Or maybe there, I probably scrambled the order since then. Okay, and this is a clear with a medium nib, and then this is a clear with an extra fine nib. So out of these 20 pens, 6 of these were gifted to me. This one with the extra fine, this one and then this one, the cement gray, and the orange transparent, and the black standard. So 6 of them. So thank you. And it just, you know, it seems like this collection is complete. It would take a lot for me to purchase another one right now because of lots of feelings and thoughts that I have on it, but I love the ones I have. So I'm happy about that. No regrets or anything. Okay, so then next up is a Galen leather case with my customs Fude and my blade. So I think there's some empty spots in this one. It's Galen leather Crazy Horse, and it's a 10-pen case. And I moved some things around. I had some other pens in here, but I decided that it didn't quite make sense, so I moved some pens around. Okay, let's make sure we're seeing things at least. Okay, so these are some custom hand-turned, you know, but from kits that were done by a pen friend, all 3 of these. And I just jotted down real quick. I didn't go looking into every single detail at this point, but it's Junior George custom, and then I did make a line because I can't remember if it's Purple Nights or something like that, or Purple something, Purple Dream maybe. And then this one is Amethyst that has the antique finish on it. This one has a medium nib. This has a broad nib. And then this one we're calling Custom Mother Pearl with a medium nib on it. And then these are the 2, okay, these are a little bit thin for this case, but I still wanted them here for some reason. They grouped here. I didn't want to have them where else I had them. So anyway, these are the 2 Hongdian, Black Forest, purple, wait, I'm trying to do it without looking, with Fude, but they both have Fude nibs. This is the rainbow one. Just a gorgeous, you know, like you can use any color in that. And I really love these 2. And I think it's because of the nibs, but I want to keep them right where they are because they're writing so well. And then this is the Hongdian N23 You're the Rabbit with a blade nib that you've been seeing. I think that's still, yeah, that's inked up for this month. So, okay, so then I have 4 spots in here. And I don't remember what the thought was, but anyway, for right now, this is the configuration, and I think it made sense at the time. So, and hopefully it will. I may move a few pens around a little. We'll see. Okay, so then next up is another Galen leather Crazy Horse is a color, and it has my it's a 10-pen. It has my Kaco Sports and my Moonman Minis. Some of these are inked, but they're back in their little place for this video. Let's see. I hope I'm not making you dizzy. Okay. Let's start over here. So these are my 5 Moonman Minis. They're now going by Majohn, or M-A-J-O-H-N, because I think there's something to do with the name that they couldn't have Moonman or whatever, but they're still labeled every which way. So these 2 are clear, and I have just the stock nibs in them, and I have the cartridges, and they write so good. If you just chuck the cartridges away somewhere and you have some of these are no joke. I have one on my desk and one on my other desk, just for jotters, and they're so good. And I feel comfortable putting it in my pocket, even in 100-degree weather, because it's in a cartridge. And then this is a purple swirl, my newest one that I got. And I put a broad, I think it's an Opus 88 nib on it. Whoops, I'm not even turning the page here. I think it is, but anyway, it's a broad. And then this one is a broad goulet nib in a green swirl. And this is the pink, and I can't remember exactly the name of it, but it is a pink kind of a, it's just pink anyway. And what do I have for a nib? I can't remember. Oh, broad goulet nib on that one too. Wait a minute. I know, I switched them. This one doesn't have a broad right now. It has a stub. Yeah, it has the 1.1 Opus 88 stub on it. This one's getting kind of cranky. It needs to have a really deep cleaning, but it doesn't really show because of the swirl and everything. And these are just, I mean, I've got 4 out of the 5 inked up. I just love them to death. And then over here are my Kavecos. These are the 5 that I have. This is the Kaco Sport Mellow Blue with a double broad. And then this, let's see, I looked it up because I couldn't remember. It's a Galen leather, and it's got a double broad on it, but I think it's violet with a double broad. And I had a lot of trouble with the nib at first. So I tried to switch it with another nib, and then I put that one back on, and right now it's writing, but that's my only frustration with some of these nibs on these. But so then this one is the Kaco Sport AL Ruby Red. And I don't know, it feels cold, and I'm not sure whether it's going to be a forever pen for me, but it's a double broad. It writes good. And then this one I got with a gift certificate. It's the Kaco Brass with a double broad. And it's a little heavy for me. But you can't, like if you're me, you don't want to go on your first impression, because boy, does my impression of things change sometimes. So I'm still giving it plenty of inkings and tryings. This was my first Kaco Sport. Right now I have a little converter in it, but I usually eyedropper it with Noodler's Navajo Turquoise. And I worked on this. It has a medium nib. I know I've talked about that a lot in the past. So these collections, these feel very complete and satisfying, and like I would feel like that would be a help to me if I said to myself, okay, if you want another one of those, which one's going to go, you know? And I wouldn't feel like I was being mean to myself. Like, that just feels right, I think. So now next up, we're going to go into this. This is another Kaco, whoops, and it is a 20 pen case, and it's Jinhao X750s, 82s, and a couple of, or 159, etc. So we'll see what etc. means here. Boy. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if we could center this. Yeah, we got some nice etceteras right here. I see on the end here. Let's see if I can hold it up. Okay, so I do have a little pen box with a bunch of Jinhao 159s, but I wanted at least one in the case. And this actually has a 1.1 Anderson stub on it. It's red. Oh. I didn't give the number. Okay, in this one, where I showed you the Kavecos and Moonmen, there were 2 that were gifted to me. I consider the light blue, the mellow blue, that was a gift from a pen friend. And then the brass one was purchased with a gift. So 2. I just wanted to make sure I mentioned, you know, I wanted to be consistent. Okay, so the Jinhao 159, this is sort of like a placeholder. This is one, and I have several. But then this is a Jinhao 80, which I'm having a little bit of second thoughts about the 80s. And each one that I have is outfitted with a real Lami nib, and I'm kind of like wanting to take the nibs off and maybe just keep one going at a time. But this one has a nice broad nib, and it's the gray one. So then we go into my beloved X750s. This is the stainless, or the silver one. Let's see, I guess I've got nib information too. Broad nib on this one. And then the purple one has a fine Nemesine nib. And the pink one has a 0.8 Nemesine stub. The blue marble here, X750, has no nib. Oh, which doesn't make sense because I've got trays of nibs. I don't even have time today to show you all the nibs. But okay, next is, I think this one's supposed to be white, but it looks ivory to me, or kind of well, what does it look like to you? Almost yellow. Cream, maybe. 1.5 Goulet on this one. And then this is my only X750 with a gold trim, which is interesting. And I kind of wish it had silver trim because I like to just undo these and switch them around to have nib variation, but I don't want to move the gold over to a silver. So this one I've been writing with the stock nib. I can get it out, but I can't get other standard Goulet nibs into this one. So that was a first to encounter that issue. But it's okay because that's a nice medium nib and it looks nice with a nice dark red or a burgundy. Anyway, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. Then here is Jinhao 100. I think the turquoise is the color name. And this is Jinhao 100 in the koi. And when we get all done with this case, I'll tell you the number of ones in this one that were gifted to me. Okay, so over here, we have, this is the Jinhao 82 in orange with a gold. And I won this in a contest. What do I have on that one? I've got a little a medium Nemesine nib on this one. And then this is one I got off Amazon that I thought it almost looked like a real sailor. But it's a Jinhao 82. And it's got a, I think I have the Knox oblique double broad on this one. Which, you know, I just have to watch what ink I use. It needs to be nice and flowy with it so that it doesn't fail or whatever. But and then this one is yellow, and it's got a medium Nemesine nib. These are number 5 nibs on this. And then this is the black one that I have with a broad Goulet number 5 nib. I mean, mine aren't very exciting. I've seen some wicked colors, but I don't want to. I don't want to look anymore because I don't want to, you know, expand this collection much more. This is the pink one, and it's probably a stock nib, although I'm not sure. Let's see. No, I ran and put a broad, that's right, I put a broad Opus 88 and it's inked up. Surprised myself even. Okay, so there's that. Now, this is what I was talking about when I'm talking about sometimes a pen will shock me, because this is a Jinhao X159, and I hated this pen. It had a fine nib, and I did everything I could try to do to like it, to make it right, and it had a springy nib, but my style of writing is just fast and full steam ahead, and so there'd be all this, like, I don't know if you could call it skipping, but definitely my writing looked like crap with it, and I was just so frustrated because everybody was so happy with theirs. Well, anyway, pen friend Kathy sent me a nib, and it's a medium nib, and I got it on here, and inked this pen up, and it's like night and day. It's a number 8 nib, and I'm trying to find the letter where she said where she got it from, and I can't remember, and I'll be talking with her and corresponding with her more, but so, oh my goodness. So I couldn't have thrown it in the trash because it has such a nice pen body. That was my dilemma, and I've got several pen bodies where I think, well, I like this pen body, but the nib is crap, and gee, you know. But anyway, this is gorgeous, and it's something else. So then, of course, I was also gifted a few more, and they've written better than that original one did. But I've only tried this one and this one, I think. I need to try the black one. I mean, this is blue. So these are all Jinhao X159, these 4, orange, brown, and blue. And then this one at the end, oh, it barely fits in there. It's Jinhao 9019, and I remember that this wrote really good. It's a number, it's a number 8 medium. We're detecting a pattern. Yeah, they almost write like broad nibs. So, and this is a really chunky pen body. Just, well, if I go at this rate, I won't get through. I promised one video, but it's fun. Anyway, so there's just nothing in here that I want to get rid of either. Okay, so out of these 20, 6 were gifted to me. Let's see. See if I can run through, if I can recall fast enough. Let me see. Hold on. This one right here. Okay. And maybe this one, I don't remember. Let's see if we come up. Okay. This one, well, I say gifted because I won this one. And then all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe I didn't count that because I won it in a contest. 6. So 6, yeah. The red, that might be 7 because I didn't buy that, did I? I don't recall. That happens sometimes. I don't like that to happen, but it does. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the 2 Hub Pen Company cases. I really love these cases. They've grown on me. At first I wasn't too sure. I thought, well, they only have one holder. But these are just kind of maybe cheaply made. They're Hub Pen Company, and it was a company that made ballpoint pens that they personalized for companies. And so I got them on eBay with full of pens. And Manuel got the pens, and I happily got the cases, 2 of them. And so this is one of them. You know, and it's never sprung its elastics. The thing about it was that sometimes you have to kind of adjust, because I think it's one piece of elastic, and then you have to kind of adjust a little bit if you have a real fat one and a thin one. But anyway, I better see if I could stick to what's going on here. I have all my pilots, and then I have TWSBIs that are not Ecos. So, this is the Pilot Custom 74. I think it's turquoise and has a fine nib. And I've inked it only once, so I really want to get going with that pen and see, you know, how it does with other inks. And then there's a bunch of Pilot Prairies. These were all gifted to me. Well, this one and all of these were gifted to me. And I've got a variety of nibs. I think I just put a cursive medium or CM on this red one. And then most of these are mediums. There's one Prairie with the black. This one has a fine nib. So these are really, I like them. And I gave away, I think, 2 or 3 because that came in that anonymous gift with 30 pens. And I thought that I have a pen friend that I knew would appreciate them. And I'm still a work in progress. So then this, I have more Pilot Metropolitans, but this one has a CM nib that I reached for a lot. So I put that in here. My Pilot Vanishing Point almost got a place in one of those fancier pen cases, but it doesn't reflect how much I use it, so I put it here. It has a medium nib. I like it, but only with very few inks, so you know, again, I don't want to sell it. I want to have one, and I'm a reviewer still, so I want to have it in my collection. And then here's another Pilot Metropolitan, and 2 Pilot Kakunos. One has like a medium nib, and one has a, one of these has, yeah, okay, this has a medium, and this has the CM. And I also put a converter in that, so that's really fun one. Well, that's not the most fun converter, but it's kind of nice to not have to worry about a cartridge. And then you see I've got a little bit of an overflow on this side, because for some reason I bought all these myself, and I've mixed up the nibs. So most of them have broad nibs, but I'm not going to be able to remember. So I've got like a clear with a broad and a clear with a, this is a broad nib. And then I've got, and it's inked, it's inked up. And then I've got one of these with a broad and one with a medium. And I think this might be a medium. But I love my TWSBI Go's. I just reach for the 2, though, that are the broad nibs most. And then this is the TWSBI Diamond 580 Iris with a broad nib, and I absolutely love it. This one is the TWSBI Diamond 580 ALR, maybe, in purple, with a 1.1 stub. And then this is a TWSBI Swipe. This is the only one I think I'm going to keep. This is the turquoise, and it has a nice broad nib on it. And I need to keep one because of being a reviewer, and also because I think maybe my opinion will change on it, but I don't like it as much as the other TWSBIs that I have, even though I want to like it. But, and it has that nice converter, and it's so easy to clean, but it just irritates me for some reason. I don't know why. And then this is the TWSBI VAC 700R in Iris. It is the VAC filler, which I have a little bit of trouble with the filling system, but I know that I just need to slow down, and it's got a gorgeous broad nib. Another one of the TWSBI Go's, let's see, sometimes I can't tell. Oh, that's a broad. I must have put that on there. You know, I switched some around. I stole broad nibs off of the other swipes and switched them all around so that I could keep the nibs I wanted. And then this is my original TWSBI Diamond 580 AL. It has a medium nib, and this is the Rose, I think, with a Diamond 580, and it's a medium nib. And I don't know why I haven't written with this one. I used to be crazy about my TWSBI Mini, but I haven't touched it in over a year. It's got a broad nib. I think I need to ink it up, because if it's really that I don't want to write with it anymore, then it needs to have a new home so that it will be used, because that's ridiculous. You know, that's too nice a pen to have sitting here. And then this one is a TWSBI Classic with a broad nib. And in this pen case, okay, 8 of these were gifted to me. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, maybe more. 8 for sure. No, 9. Okay, so I'm slipping. 9, 10. Oh, that's bad math there, or whatever. So I'm going to correct that. At least 10 of them. So, I guess I let that cognitively slip, but that's definitely 10. Okay, so we have one more of these cases to go through. Whoops. Zipper included. We're getting toward the end of the cases. All right, so this is the other hub case, and I have written on the tag, miscellaneous, Mahjong, Parker, Diplomat, Sailor, and others. Again, I really like this case. They're really cool. I wonder why there's a hole here and a couple holes here, but that always makes me worry. I know there's a couple pens out for repair, or to find out whether they can ever be, like, revived. This is, I still call them Moonman A1, but I guess they're being sold mostly as Mahjong, so A1. And let's see, one of these, one of them has a real pilot nib on it, because one of my pen friends, I think it's this one, sent me a pilot fine nib, you know, a real pilot fine nib. So I switched it out, and it's really nice on that. And then I've got 2 of these that are not, they're not clicking anymore. So that's a real interesting thing, because gosh darn it, I really liked the white one, but it stopped clicking, and I don't know if I lost something when I cleaned it or what. And then this is a Mahjong, and I don't remember there is a number to this, but I didn't find it. It's got this gorgeous, I think it's an extra fine nib, and it's so perfect for a Hobonichi. So I'll see if I can find in my big computer inventory what that's called. Then this one, oh, this one's gorgeous. It's a Moonman P136, I think it is. I couldn't read that to save my life. But it's a piston filler, and it's a medium nib, and it's so smooth right out of the box. This was sent by one of my more recent pen pals that we've been writing back and forth, and it's just amazing. I mean, they probably need to have that inked up quite a bit more. And then this one here is a Moonman, and I think it's a C something. It's an eyedropper pen that I have not inked up yet, which that's rare for these cases. This is what happened when everything came out of everywhere, and I started realizing, wow, I haven't written with that one. And then Diplomat Magnum in gray with a medium nib. Diplomat Magnum Prismatic Purple with a broad nib. And then I get a little fuzzy here, because this is a Jinhao. Let's see. I may not know what this... Oh, I moved some things around, so that's not going to help me. It looks almost like a Parker, but it's a Jinhao. And so it's one of those look-alikes with a hooded nib. I know what it is. I've got to get into the inventory, though. And it doesn't have the annoying bladder in the middle, so I really like this one. I think it's really pretty. I will look that up, and I hope I'll be able to find that. And then I believe this is I know these are vectors. And this is a red one and made in the USA, and this is a purple one made in France. And then this one, Parker, and I don't know, it says France. And it's got the little medium nib on it. Jotter, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. I didn't want to never do the video, so I just decided that I would do my best with my descriptions, and then I'd look them up for the, you know, if there was something that I couldn't remember. So this is a Kaco over here. It's just a gorgeous pen with a, let's see what I have on it. Okay, it's got its nib, and I think it's a medium, yeah. This is pretty. Well, it's because I have too many pens why I haven't had this inked up, because this is a gorgeous pen, and it would kind of correspond with a lot of different, I would like it for kind of a green or teal ink. And then Moonman S600S or something like that. This is Tiger's Eye. It's got a broad goulet nib on it. Wow, it's like, I haven't written with this in a while. One of these was giving me a little bit of leakage, but it could have been just at the time. I need to ink them both up and see what's going on. This was an anniversary pen from my husband, and then this was one from a pen friend. And let's see what we got on there. Okay, I've got the stock nib on there. It's probably a medium, and this is the purple. Oh, it's just gorgeous. These pens are really pretty. And then I've got a Narwhal Original Plus with a double broad on it. I need to use, I had put some ink that was too dry in it. Shame on me, because I need to always try my new pens with something that I know is going to work. You know, either a Pilot ink or a Waterman ink, and that's something I've got to remember to do. So this will be inked up soon. I want to try it again. Okay, then this is a Lingmo Lorelei. It's a Chinese pen, and it says 019, but I had one just like this in red, which is now in a quarantine box as far as whether I'm going to keep it. This says fine, but there was something about this nib that I thought was special, and that I hadn't ought to walk on past it. I need to get this inked up and see how it does, preferably with a Pilot ink. I think this one's going to fare better than my little red one, which just put down a pin line, the one that I purchased. This was a gift. And then this is Nemesine Singularity. I have on it a broad goulet nib. I love this pen. I just love it. It's lightweight, and it has perfect flow, and it's just gorgeous. And the nib that came on it was like a fine nib, but the other Nemesine nibs I've had, the 0.8 is great too. This is one that almost left, because this is a Conklin Durgraph Purple Nights with a 1.1 stub now. I hated the nib that came on it. I saw it the other day and I almost threw it away, but I didn't. I had such a bad experience with the nib that it kind of lingered to the pen, and it shouldn't, because this is a beautiful pen body. I just need to work with it some more, because I like it. I like the pen body. I just didn't like the experience of how that wrote. And then this is the Ferris Wheel Press Scribe with a fine nib. Yeah, fine nib. It writes really good. It's got an awful thin section. It's a nice metal pen with a lot of interesting stuff, but I'm not sure whether that will stay forever or not either, but there it is. And then these two I haven't tried yet. Whoops, are you seeing them? Oh, I hope so. These are Sailor 1911. And I don't know the color names. I haven't looked these up yet. They came in that pack with 30 pens. Someone was, you know, downsizing their collection. It's either, it looks, maybe it's a fine or extra fine. And I'm afraid of it, because I'm afraid of Sailor nibs. Although I have one that I've had really good luck with. That was the other Sailor 1911. Oh, we haven't done that one yet. I was going to say, where's that pen? Okay, and then this is another one, just like that one, only pink, and it's a Sailor 1911 too. And I need to try these. I was thinking which ink, and I got to standardize myself here and get around to these. It is a large collection. We'll talk numbers when we get toward the end. Oh my goodness, I think we're toward the end. Okay. So then I've got two more pen cases, so hang in there if you're waiting for something in particular. It may be in here. So this is the Ashton 10 pen case. It's one of my favorite pen cases. I like it. And good thing I like it, because it was expensive. And I bought it. And it has a little flap here. Okay, so there's a pen in here that I never talked about when I bought it. And it's right here. This one is a river, wait, I'm messing up already. Wow, did I not write it down or anything? No, because I just put it in here. I need to probably pause and get my box. It's a River City. Let me pause this. Okay, I think anyway, hopefully editing me will be able to edit this. If not, we're going to end up with a two-part video. So this is a River City Pen Company nib holder with a Kaco brass nib dip pen. So I put it in here because it is very special. And I put it in here so that I would have it in a nice place and not have to put it in the box. So, oh, let's see. Going back to that Ashton, was that the last pen case? Let's see. Which one did I do before this? The second hub pen case, the 24 pen case, 13 of those were gifted, 13 out of the 24. So in this one, this is the only pen that I purchased myself. Not that I think that's funny, but it is in a way. It's like, wow, it's humbling and funny. But so this dip pen is the only one. So this is the Pelikan M800, and this is the Mont Blanc Meisterstück Classique 14 something. Oh dear. No, I didn't even write that down. I've had it a long time. It's a little petite pen with a medium nib, and it writes really well with the right ink. It's really, really nice. It was a gift. All of these were, except for this one. And, oh no, I purchased this one too, so that's wrong. So 2 out of the 10 I purchased, because this is the Platinum 3776 Nice, Century Nice, with a broad platinum nib. And then this is the Sailor 1911 Cocktail Series. I don't know what the color is though, and it's a fine nib, I think. Let me see if we can find out. Okay. It was, oh, it doesn't say. Well, of course, they all look extra fine to me when they're when they're the Japanese nibs, or the not Western, non-Western nibs always look extra fine to me. So this was the River City dip pen. Let's see, I'll tell you the color name on that one. It is Lemonade, Strawberry Lemonade is the color name. That was one that he had ready, and I really wanted one. I was super excited. I haven't had very good luck with the nib, but I think it's just going to mean practice, is what I think. And then this is the Diplomat Arrow with an extra fine nib, and I love that. This is the Karas Custom V something. Goodness gracious. Oh, it's just an amazing pen. It's indestructible. It's got an extra fine nib that writes more like a medium, and it's super, super nice. Just amazing. I don't want to say V2, but sometimes I guess wrong, and I hope I'm not doing that now. This is another custom one made by that same pen friend that made the 2 Junior Georges, and this is the El Grande, let's see, and it's got the Kirk Spear medium nib on it. Yeah, really, really well-tuned medium nib on it. Super nice. So it ended up in this special pen case here. And this is a Hubert Pen Company. Let's see, there was more to that name. Let's see if I can, River City. Okay, it's a Hubert Pen Company and Goulet exclusive maybe, or collaboration. And it has a SIG nib on it, an Italian nib, which I'm still getting used to, and I'm wondering which, you know, what might be the best ink for it. But I have had pretty good luck with it already, and I want to work with it some more. And then this one is one I won in a contest from Larry's Fountain Pens. It's a Heinz Custom Blue Storm. Right now I have an Opus 88 nib unit in it with a broad nib. So I think I'm going to be super happy with that, I'm sure. It's a really nice, the only thing about this pen is that it has absolutely no roll stop to it. I have to be super careful with it. But that's what, I guess, what they make all these little pen rests and stuff for, so I got to get used to that. Okay, so then next up is the last pen case, which is the Monteverde 36 pen case. And this is quite a clunker. It's pretty full, I think. The other one like this I had to get rid of because it popped its elastics. And this one never has. This has been great. So I've got in here a bunch of student pens and a bunch of other pens that just didn't quite fit or classify where they were, and where I kind of initially wanted to put them. This is the online. Let's see if we can. Yeah, let's pay attention here. Online. Let's see. Airsoft, soft mint or something like that with a fine nib. Super, super nice writer. The Cross Bailey with a medium nib, I think, or a fine nib. No, fine nib. In turquoise. And then the Pelicano Junior with an A beginner nib. The Pelicano regular with a medium nib in red. And then the Lami ABC with an A beginner nib. The Kaco, you can hardly see that because it's black. Kaco all black Perkio with a medium nib. No matter what I've done to this case, it has never snapped. See, it's sewn in between each one, so I can see why sometimes they give out, but this is the older one, and it never did. So this is a Tombow Object with a medium nib, super nice metal pen. And then this is a little Platinum Shooting Star Hello Kitty with a 0.3 fine nib. This is a Pelican Twist. There's another Pelican Twist on the other side. This is a Jinhao 992. Let me go ahead and fix it so you can at least see where the top of the pens. And then a Jinhao 51A with a hooded nib. That's a pretty pen too. I think it's having so many pens that has gotten me to not ink up everything. This is a Schneider Carissima with a 1.1 stub. It's kind of designed a lot like this art pen here. This is a Prefonte with a 0.3. Wait, hold on. Maybe not. Nope, 0.5 medium nib. And this is eyedroppered. I don't know. I don't think I get along very good with this one, but I can't tell you why. I don't remember. This one I love. This is a Rotring art pen with 3 different nibs. This unit is I think a 1.1. Yeah, it has the 1.1, but there's 2 more in my nib case. And I've been putting it like this so it would fit, because that way the tail of it doesn't really interfere up here. Then this is a Schneider Ray with a medium, kind of a broad nib. This is the 2 Opuses that got kind of put in this one just because they didn't really fit in the other case, and I don't want to expand the number of pens that that I can fit in the other cases. That Opus 88 Halo in purple. There's no nib on it right now. There's other nib units to put in it, but I don't have one in it. Then this is the Opus 88 Demonstrator with a Pilot Parallel 3.0. And then this is the Retro 51 Tornado with ultraviolet. Yeah, ultraviolet's the color name. And you never know what I have in it. Maybe nothing. I may not. No, I don't have a nib unit in it right now. It takes all the same as the Opus 88, so there's lots of options, and it's a number 6 nib. Okay, so then over here, this is our last pen case. Let's see. We've got 3 Faber-Castells, the Loom, the Ondaro, and the Grip. This is fine, wait, I don't know. Extra fine, maybe? Fine. Okay, so that means this is the extra fine, the Ondaro with the wooden barrel. And then the medium and the Grip. I love these pens. They write so good. Then this is the Reform. I think it had a number too, but I don't have the number written down. It's a, I think it's a 60s vintage pen, a piston filler. And I've had a little bit of trouble with this one, getting it to continuously write, and I don't know if it's me or I need to revisit that. This one I can't remember what it is, and I can't find it anywhere, so I didn't want to let it hold up the whole works, but it's one I think pen friend Kathy sent, so she's probably told me 6 times what it is. That's There's no excuse for that kind of silliness, but I need to tag them. That's why I like those little tags. And I did tag this one so I wouldn't forget. This is a Kaco Retro with a hooded nib, extra fine. And then an old Wing Sung 3008. And then this is a Fountain Pen Revolution, and I can't remember the pen name or anything. It's got the Fountain Pen Revolution extra fine Ultraflex nib on it, which I have a hard time writing with, but I haven't given up yet, so it's still in a pen case. And then a eyedroppered, I think, or yeah, an eyedroppered Preppy with a 0.3, so a fine nib. I've had that eyedroppered for over a year once, and it stayed nice. Okay, then let's see if we can get at least up far enough so you can see. I've got a Pilot Parallel 1.5, the Schneider Voice, which is kind of a blade-looking nib, and then two of the Rotring, these are the same nibs, Rotring Core. They both have the XL nibs. They're very, very Star Wars-like, really cool pens. In retrospect, I could have had one, but I like them both, and I think they're really cool. I just, I'm glad I stopped at two. You know, they're not ones that I ink up enough to justify anymore. So this is a Gen House Shark with an extra fine hooded nib. I've got 2 or 3 more of those in the quarantine box, but it's not just quarantine. I can give out some pens like that too. And then there's a Pilot Varsity, excuse me, a Pelican Twist in a medium with silver, Schneider Ray with a medium nib in Boysenberry. These 3 are inked up. And then the Online Campus Fluffy Cats with a medium nib. And that concludes the pen cases. Whoops. Now we just have a little bit more to look at, really just a little bit. What we have are some, let's look at the pocket pens. This is my Leather Rose cigar box. It's got some cool artwork on the top. It's just gorgeous. I love that. And then inside are most of my pocket pens that are not Moonman or Kaco. They're actually all in here. So Traveler's Brass, Laban Expression. I think this has a fine nib, medium nib. This is a little Stipula Passaporto. Looks like a spaceship with a medium nib. And then I've got 2 of these Tache Odo little pocket pens with, I think they're fine nibs. Maybe. I got this one, and I got a little blue one up here. And then I've got 2 of these Q1s. This has a fine nib, and this has an extra fine. I haven't tried the extra fine yet. Kaco Lilliput Fire Blue or something like that. See what the nib is. Medium, I think. Yeah, I don't tend to do well with a really, really super narrow metal pen, but it's a nice one to have, and I need to learn from that if that's not going to be the type, because there's another one that I'm interested in that it probably wouldn't work out for me. But this one has really worked out. This is a vintage platinum pocket pen gifted to me, and it has a little kind of a, not hooded, but an interesting nib. Really nice. It writes really well in it. I had a cartridge in it for a long, long time. I'm really partial to this one. It's a 1970s. And then this is a just complete blank. And I have my whole thing here to tell me what I have, because that's ridiculous. Waterman's 52, Waterman 52 ladies. You know, it can hang here, and it's a lever filler. It's got a number 2 really nice nib, but the lever's broken now, and that's on me because it was working when I got it from my pen friend. So I'm really sad about that. This is that other Q1 with an extra fine. This is the little Philco, or let's see, Philco, FIL. CAO, and it's just a super smooth Italian nib, and it just takes a tiny little, you know, standard cartridge, and I love this pen. I'm afraid I'll lose it, but it's so nice. And then this is the Miffy's Garden with a little hooded nib, I think. Yeah. And it's, you know, it falls under pocket pen, I think. And then this is the Monteverde MVP with a broad nib that writes like a medium. And then Pilot Petite 1. I used to write with those a lot. And 2 of the Opus 88 minis. I think one doesn't, maybe not have a, yeah, it doesn't have a nib in it right now because I pulled that out to use on a Moonman Mini. That kind of shows you something, but I do have more nibs for these. And this one I think has a medium. This is the checkered, and this one was the Happy New Year 2022. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Yeah, so I've got 2 of those. Okay, so then next up are just those little that I was telling you about. I use these little boxes. These have Jinhao 248, 80, and 82, you know, for different colors. But not only that, just for these, I just use them around my desk. Like I've got one right here, always filled up with cross black. And these are good to give away because they're really smooth. And then I've got a couple of the 82s that I don't have, you know, I haven't changed nibs on yet or whatever. And all of these have actual Lami nibs in them. So I'm trying to decide what to do, whether I'm going to keep using them as they are or rescue the nibs off and just, you know, put back on the stock nibs for those. I'm not sure. Haven't decided, but I'm not worried about it. I kind of think that's a nice solution, those boxes. And then this is the Jinhao 159 box, which I've got like 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8 of these Jinhao 159s. And nothing in here has anything but stock nib or no nib, I think, right at the moment. So that's kind of how I keep them when I'm not using them. And then I could just put a number 6 nib on them. And then over here, these were all gifted to me because, well, maybe, let's see. Because I originally bought one that looked like this. So one of these is probably one I bought, the turquoise. And all the rest were gifted. And I can switch around the bodies with, and so that I can use any of these different colors. But I'm planning to rehome some of these too, because that's way too many for me. But I'm not hung up on that. So that is it, because other than that, it's like I've got 2 pretty large cigar boxes full of fountain pens. And I'm not really ready to get in digging into those. I don't want to pick on the pens, and I don't want to have to explain in one video or 2, because I'm not sure how this is going to turn out, how you know, what each one the plan is. I even have a few that are just need a new barrel, or they need fixing. So let's move to the page, because I think we talked about all these. It's messy. This is really messy. But the page with all the, yeah, here it is. So I wanted to remember that it was a viewer request that I do this video. Well, more than one viewer. And back on the 8 pen questions time, I had about 200 pens. And 4 years ago, I had about 100. Now, my quick count for overall grand total is 292. But it's 211 as far as considered keepers. So those 2 boxes that have extra fountain pens, one has 33 and one has 32. So, but it's 211 is my grand total now. So that isn't up too high from a year, approximately a year ago, when I did the 8 pen question tag. I didn't do it again this year yet. So as I said earlier, I think 81 pens equal parts, fixing, and decisions. Yeah. Okay. So that's interesting. How did I get 81? Because I got 33 here, 32 there. Anyway, my math can really confound even me. But I think this is pretty close. So, you know, as far as grand total, 292, but 211 considered keepers. So I don't think I'm going to go back over to the library. What I'm going to try to do is patch these 2 videos together. Something happened that stopped my video, the last one. And so I'm hoping I don't have to present this as 2. But if I do, I'll make all kinds of, you know, notes to that effect and pinned comment and down below. But thank you so much for watching. If you've watched all this, you deserve a medal, and this was a lot of fun. This showed me where my true love is on some of these pens and how much more exploration I have with the ones that I have. It goes all the way back to here. And I really love how I have the 10 pen cases so that I can really work within similar items so that it's like categories. That's really helping me. Excuse me. My heavens, I think my voice is just failing. So, I'll see you on the next video, unless I may have to redo this, I'm not sure. I'll let you know when I start typing out the description. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.